Alright, let's get this good stuff out of the way, shall we? Please go to my YouTube channel, click the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, hit the like button, leave a comment, leave a hashtag, say what you really feel. Keep doing that till we get to 1,000 subscriptions and we will do some good. Oh, we are back, and look at all this mise en place. This tutorial is going to be all about mise en place and living sous vide loca, as we will go ahead and take care of a couple of proteins, one for a party and one for dinner. Here's the one for the party. That is a Denver cut. If you don't know what that is, it basically comes from the underblade inside of a big old chuck roll. There's about 3 or 4 of them inside of a 35 to 40 pound chuck roll. You can see it's got beautiful marbling, but it's also got some fair amount of sinew and connective tissues. We're going to combat that by zip-locking it and giving it a bath in the sous vide. So let's go ahead and get started by taking off that nasty connective tissues. All that gristle, that's not going to cook out. It's not going anywhere. Now we'll leave that thin layer of good fat. And as we flip this over, you'll see nothing but silver skin. And again, silver skin doesn't cook out, doesn't go anywhere. Silver skin is nasty. Silver skin bad. Alright, we are sitting pretty and nicely trimmed here. You can see that beautiful marbling, but this thing could easily be reverse seared or charred over a grill and finished in the oven low and slow. We're going to go ahead and flavor it first. So we're going to demolish it with garlic. I apologize, that is pre-minced garlic from a jar. I know, shame on me. But we'll go ahead and crust it very heavily with salt and pepper. Okay, cracked pepper, obviously. We're going to use garlic salt in place of regular salt. This is a 2.5-inch thick piece of meat, so it needs all the help flavor-wise it can get. Alright, now it's time for some fresh greenery for this scenery. There goes a little bit of fresh thyme, fresh oregano, and fresh rosemary, but not too much. Equal parts of all three, okay? That'll help to crust and flavor the outside. And from here on out, we're going to use the old fire drill method. And that is, of course, drop, stop, and roll. Just keep rolling it through that plate till you get it completely crusted. And finally, we move on to the Ziploc portion. If you've got a food saver machine, even better. But if not, just be diligent. Make sure you work all of that air out of the bag. Try to evacuate as much of it as you can. Zip it up tight, and it's time to take a bath, baby. And now we have set our water circulator at 123 degrees exactly for 8 hours. That will guarantee us a perfect warm red medium rare center. And we'll only have to cook it up about 10 degrees. And so we fast forward 8 hours later. Aha! Yaffa! Moving on to our Labor Day second big protein. That's a big old 2-pound hunk of salmon, which we are going to smoke. And now, since I have visitors for the next 3 days, a big old pork chop for them. 4 components is all it's going to take. Watch this. I've got an 18-ounce beautiful French pork chop, a plastic bag, some leftover mint chimichurri, and a pot full of water. That's it. And so now the same principle applies here. Evacuate all the air as much as you can. Squeeze it out, roll it up tight, drop it in the bath. This one, we're only going to set for 3 hours, because this one's going to get eaten tomorrow when my guests finally get here. And woohoo! Look who finally decided to show up in South Georgia. That's right, it's a kid from the peninsula. How about that? And lucky them, they're walking into this beauty. Alright, so 3 hours later, chilled in the fridge for 2 days. It's time to get this sucker on some heat. Now tell me that doesn't look pretty enough right now. Yeah, you're right. It needs some color, it needs some grill marks. henceforth to the grill marking. Alright, we've got our grill smoking hot. And one of the beautiful things about the whole sous vide process is it keeps the fat and the fat caps intact. So that's going to crisp up and caramelize and really render and turn into a nice crispy top. So we'll go top down first. We're not even going to grill it on the sides yet. Lay a little bit of spray down so we get a little stickage. And we'll give it a few more minutes. Alright, from here we have given the flip. From the top of the chop to the bottom of the chop. Same idea. We've got them both rendered nicely, so now we'll start getting our defined hatch marks, our grill marks. That's where all of our unbelievable flavor is about to come from. So we've got our lines going in one direction. We'll do a quarter turn, and we'll do the flip, and now it's time to baste. That's right. Mint chimichurri, nice and fresh, nice and bright, very vibrant. Really gonna pick this pork chop up like you will not believe. Alright, one more time on the turn and the flip. We did our quarter turn. Oh, that looks good. Look at that fat cap. Yummy! Now we baste even more. Basting. Mint chimichurri. Are you kidding? And while you weren't looking, we snuck in some street corn. That's right, elote, aka Mexican street corn. That's going to get topped with a crema. But in the meantime, guess what? It gets basted with that chimichurri too. It's just going to brighten everything up. And I mean everything. And they gazed in wide wonder at the joy they had found. I want to be yours, pretty baby. Every pork chop I see. Especially this one. Look at that. I'm going to let that rest for about 10 minutes. Maybe a little bit longer. So you get all the juices don't purge. And look at that. Bing! And last bit of razzle dazzle on the pork. We'll squeeze a couple squeezes of fresh lime, and then we'll also sprinkle some coarse ground sea salt. And since we saved this for last, let's make it the showstopper. That is a cilantro lime juice, sour cream, creme fraiche, cream fraiche. Yep, pretty much put their behinds down as they binge whatever they were binging. Yep, they enjoyed it. They went to sleep pretty quickly after this too. Come to think of it, I walked out to the garage and sat down in my favorite recliner and got molested by a cat. And sure enough, wouldn't you know it, my fat ass crapped out too. So we bid thee farewell, you crazy fucking hell, kids. Thanks for coming down. See you all soon. And there's another tutorial in the books. We are marching towards 1,001 subscriptions. When we get there, wonderful things can be done for charity. 50% of everything I earn from YouTube will go directly to charity. And there's 3 things, maybe 4 you gotta do. I'll list them for you. Hell, I'll tell you. Subscribe, like, share, hashtag, leave a comment.